Sketch made this.
Why would they dose us? Why would they use these planes? It's the same reason that chemtrails are massive.
This week on the CW, Arrow turns into a woman. Oh well, just carry on. Oh, okay. What was the point of even monitoring if you had no intention of keeping him alive anyway?
Precious Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. What are you, fucking Mulder?
Good pancreas.
Okay. No, seriously, are we watching Arrow or something? I want to be beautiful. Okay. Don't we all?
We break this bread to share in the body of Christ. We being many are one body, for we all share in one bread.
Looks like you guys are up to speed. We've got our own stuff we need to attend to. We'll leave you to it.
Yeah, awkward.
You did that on purpose.
You think? There are multiple cases here, Scully. This victim was murdered by these two.
Are those new? Bifocals?
They're bifocals, but they're progressives. Called progressive lenses.
No need to get defensive.
I'm not defensive.
Presbyopia is a natural part of the aging process.
What has worn glasses for ages?
Just wait till you get gout. Gout.
You know, sometimes I wonder why we keep doing it, Scully, in the face of all this indifference and presbyopia. Did you get your hair cut?
Are you kidding me?
You didn't notice when you were grabbing it in sex? No! Oh! Okay. Oh, no, seriously. Oh, God. You're doing it wrong if her underwear's still on.
I'm sure you did the best you could.
Oh, you are so dead, dude.
I need a word with you.
You have to have faith, Juliet. Faith that through him, your sister Olivia will return to you.
Every night, Mom would tell us to get on our knees and pray for his recovery.
And prayers were answered. He lived.
Only after the first couple nights, I wasn't praying for him. I was praying for a puppy. When we got one that Christmas, I thought God had performed a miracle.
question, Scully. My parents never got me a puppy.
Kayla, I think you're ready to ascend.
I am? Do you trust me?
No,
Have I
don't.
ever lied to you?
Except for that time you stitched me to a guy's back.
Close your eyes.
Barbara, please.
Tell me your dream.
I want to be beautiful like you.
All right, my ugly duckling. Prepare to be a swan. What do you see?
You look as beautiful as ever.
So many responses to that question.
Barbara, this is a dark time. No one is eating well.
We need healthy organs. Why can't we use one of them?
These children are our seeds. You don't eat the seeds. You eat the fruit from the trees.
Stop talking to me like I'm an idiot. I am going to perform my favorite song. I sang this song.
He's like, no, anything but
Comedy
that.
Hour in 1973, and they told me that at the time it was the highest rated show they'd ever had. Higher than Charo or Muhammad Ali. It also won an Academy Award that year. Maureen McGovern made it famous, but people tell me that they like my version better.
Oh no.
And so, Warren, to you I say, there's got to be a morning after.
Good God.
If we can hold on through the night, we have a chance to find the sunshine.
Yeah, Maureen McGovern's version's much better.
So keep on looking for the light. Oh, can't you see? It's raining bright outside.
Guess anybody listening to that would want to kill themselves.
Why
But
don't we cross the bridge together and find a place that's safe and warm?
okay.
Oh, you're in an awful hurry this morning.
What even is this episode trying to be?
Mr. Morris's birthday. I don't want to be a sucker.
You're interrupting my prep. I have to memorize my lines.
Double trouble. You've seen this 1,000 times. Hello. Special Agent Mulder. This is Special Agent Scully with the FBI.
Appears to be a lot of blood on your floor.
And you are?
Will you tell me?
I'm sorry, can you tell us your name?
Haven't you seen the Barbara Beaumont show?
Holy shit.
Those who love me, I will deliver. I did repay. My sister is here.
You're just gonna let her go?
Scully! Scully!
Could just jump down after her. So glad you're not in any particular rush, Mulder.
Scully! Scully!
Hi, honey. Sorry I forgot about you for a few minutes.
You stink.
Thanks, Mulder. My fall was broken by decades worth of trash. But I'm okay. Or if Your needs exceed your grasp. You can ask God to act on your behalf. But you don't believe in God. So you'd essentially be talking to yourself.
I may not believe in God, but I believe in you. And therefore I speak to him through you. Through the transitive property of equality, if A equals B and B equals C, therefore A equals C. Reason and faith and harmony. Isn't that why we're so good together?
Are we together?
Hello?
You know, I believed I could protect our son. And I failed. I believed that we could live together. And I fled. I gave up on that too.
If only you'd fled earlier.
Excuse me?
You know how many times I've envisioned that scenario where you left that basement office before I even needed glasses.
Well, you had glasses then.
Dog. Your sister. You'd be Kirsch's boss at the FBI and be married to some brain surgeon and have a bunch of kids that you wouldn't have to give up.
Let's go bang in the pulpit? What the fuck?
That's not my 4-year-old self looking for a miracle. That's my leap of faith forward. And I'd like to do it together.
She wants to get a puppy?
I've always wondered how this was going to end.
Is this happy? Is this sad? Is this what? 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 Hey everybody, just got done watching the 9th and penultimate episode of the X-Files in season 11, Nothing Lasts Forever, written by Karen Nielsen and directed by James Wong. And much like much like Plus One, let's look at the main Monster of the Week episode first before I get on to the ending. And I'll explain why soon. But yeah, let's focus on the main case file first, which should pretty much just be called What Would Happen If You Mashed Up American Horror Story and Arrow. Just, it's interesting. I think it's well kind of directed in when you've got the kind of just exposition of Scully and then this cult's kind of faith. Not so much the cult's faith, but I mean there's that as well. But you know the girl who I cannot remember the name of, the Avenger, if you will. God, I can't even remember her name. That's so bad. I can remember most Barbara Beaumont and Olivia, and I don't remember the doctor's name. But anyway, so we'll just call her Little Avenger for the rest of this review. I could probably go look this up. Can't be bothered. So anyway, I like that just exposition, you know, kind of thing between the two faiths. My only issue really with the episode is it tries for this gross out gore fest just for the sake of goriness. There's so much awkwardness in this that felt like it lasted too long. Like the whole morning after song, that went on way too long. And there was something else that went on way too long, and I was just like, really? Does this... okay? But yeah, no, I mean, it's an interesting case file, and it's something, you know, we've seen storylines with creepy cults, and we've seen the organ transplant stuff in previous episodes. But this really went all out, and this season has seemingly tried to be a lot more gore fest and grab your attention punchiness than a lot of episodes, not a lot of previous seasons. I like it. I did. I just felt tonally, I felt like it was really all over the place. I wasn't sure if it was trying for this kind of hammer horror. I mean, Mulder even references hammer horror. I wasn't sure if it was trying for this to go for this kind of hammer horror. Oh my god, I can't talk tonight. I don't know if it was trying to go for this hammer horror feel or dark humor at times. I mean, the Barbara Beaumont character was so over the top. It was ridiculous. It felt like it was trying to be serious, but at the same time it felt a bit campy at times. So yeah, I thought it was a little over the place in that sense. But I loved the characters. They were genuinely creepy in just the right way. I loved the Mulder Scully interactions. I'm really off about the whole, though, Mulder needing glasses and that being the centre of attention and the running joke, essentially, for this whole episode. Because we have seen Mulder with glasses plenty of times in the past. And I get that they're trying to go for this whole getting old, and Mulder's just like, we all get old, you know, whatever. I mean, he's okay because he's pretty no matter what. But I get that they were trying for that whole, you know, not aging and stuff like that. But I just, like I say, we've seen Mulder with glasses before. I don't know why they didn't have to do this whole thing where it's like, oh, I'm getting so old I can't look at my phone. Again, there's this thing called accessibility on your phone where you tap it and it blows up the screen. Helps me a lot. Trust me. I wouldn't be able to see my phone otherwise. No, I felt like it was really trying to keep drumming on that joke, and I was just like, yeah, we don't need to keep taking the piss out of Mulder's short-sightedness. Again, that was, I don't know, maybe as a visually impaired person I took a little offence. I just didn't feel it was, once or twice was fine, but I think it happens like 3 or 4. I was just like, really? Okay, we get it. But, and God, I miss the old wireframe glasses. I don't know what the hell he was wearing now, but yeah, just bring back the wireframe glasses, please. Again, in that sense, it felt like it was hitting a lot of beats of fan fiction. You know, right down to, say, the ending. But yeah, I mean, it's a long running thing with people going on about Mulder and his glasses. It's like a whole subset of perviness in the fandom. So, yeah, I don't know, that just felt odd. But I really enjoyed the interactions and stuff. I felt like the episode was trying a lot with its case file. I don't know if it was necessary, and especially in the penultimate episode, we got one more, and I think the closest we get to getting back on track with the mythology and anything else is that snippet of Tad O'Malley's Truth Squad, or whatever it was called, his podcast. We get that snippet of when we see the van at the beginning, and you can hear Tad O'Malley going on about chemtrails and stuff like that, which of course then ties us back to Kitten and the gas in that, and of course previous My Struggle episodes. So yeah, I mean, I just felt like that was the only tie, and it's like, really, we're going, I mean, to be fair, this was actually shot and originally going to be episode 8, So when they did the mid-season trailer, they were like, there is nothing beyond episode 8 in this trailer. And there were clips from the church scene in that trailer and that. And apparently, yeah, this was originally going to go before Familiar. I don't know why it got changed. I don't know if they felt that, you know, the end scene kind of led on to My Struggle for More. I guess. I mean, there's not really anything, you know, Mulder and Scully with their relationship and their communications between each other really in Familiar that feels like it would lead on from what happens in this episode. They're very, you know, focused on the case in that episode. So, yeah, I guess it makes sense to put this one here. But yeah, no, it just feels odd to think that this is the penultimate episode. And like I say, it certainly felt like it was drawing a lot from other shows and pop culture kind of thing. But no, I did. I enjoyed it. Do I think it stands out in the season? No. In a way, it feels very humdrum and very okay. And like I say, but it genuinely made me feel ill at times. And I'm not sure that's what I look for in an X-Files episode. I certainly look to be creeped out, and God knows last week's episode creeped me out. So I'm still trying to recover from that. I've still got the Mr. Chuckleteeth song stuck in my head. But yeah, no, I don't know. It's not a bad episode. It's just, I don't know if it's necessary. But no, I enjoyed all the character interactions and stuff like that. It just felt a little all over the place. And especially this thing at the end where the sister, she's all okay. She's been in a cult for like 2 months and was more than willing to give herself up to this guy to let him live forever. And I'm sure, you know, that alone, I'm pretty sure there's a whole scientific issue with that. I mean, is that the paranormal thing where, you know, obviously they're older than they are, or is this even remotely scientifically plausible? But she gave herself willingly to that, and then she's just back at home, completely fine, all healthy, with no interest in. I mean, the amount of therapy she's gonna need, seriously. But she seemed all happy in that, and I was just like, okay, fine. And I get that we're not going to see, you know, the outcome of all case files and stuff like that. But it was just a bit of a jarring jump. I mean, yeah, it's nice that the sister saved us, you know, Olivia and stuff. But, yeah, it just seemed a bit jarring at times. And I think that was kind of the problem with a lot of the episode. And let's get to the ending, shall we? The show, I swear, I did retweet something a while back where it's like, what do you feel, you know, retweet if you feel emotionally abused by Chris Carter. And I think if ever there was an episode to make me feel emotionally abused, this ending would be it. You know, we've always joked that Chris Carter's like, haha, fuck you, but oh my god, this really did it. The reason why as well I wanted to leave this until last to talk about is because there's been a big thing lately of people getting really pissed off saying the shippers are ruining the show, that's all they care about, this, that and the other. And you know what? I kind of get it. And especially, like, I've seen, like, on previous episodes, the first thing anybody has ever said is, oh, well, there's no MSR moments. And it's like, okay, but what about the rest of the episode? You know, look at the whole episode. Yeah, it's nice to have those shippy moments. But yeah, there's been a lot of, I feel bad, in a way I feel bad for some people that this is all they're getting spammed with on their timelines. But at the same time, I'm sorry, It's a key point. And I just want to, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's not the be all and end all of the show. And I feel a lot of people get defensive, and I get that. I do. But I don't like the fact that, you know, the rabid shippers are getting, you know, that are making the fandom look a certain way, is then making people view normal shippers in the same way, and that makes me sad. So but anyway, the ending. Okay, just why it's a really lovely interaction. And I think, again, we're getting down to that fan fictions vibe with the whole Mulder feeling guilty about everything that Scully sacrificed. And again, we've treaded this kind of territory in the Truth finale. So it didn't feel like anything new. But yeah, I mean, Mulder's guilt is always something that we've been aware of. And in a way, I guess it was nice to hear it voiced more succinctly, kind of thing. But yeah, after giving us the impression in the trailer that there was going to be a kiss at the end there, that's a dick move. And I want to know what she freaking whispered to him. And I know this is all there's this whole theory going around at the moment that Scully's pregnant. I don't completely buy into it at all. I think it would be stupid knowing that Gillian's leaving to do that. But what I hate, I don't even hate necessarily that she whispers to him. You know, kind of considering that we might find out what she whispers to him next episode, I guess. But I just hate that you can't really read their expressions. I don't feel like there's any closure. I'm like, is this a happy, like she says about wanting to go forward and doing it together. And as usual, you know, there's always been this element of hope and don't give up and stuff within the series. So to see Mulder lighting that candle, you know, I think that gives a hopeful end, you know, much like we said with Ghoulie even. There's this element of hope where he lights the candle and it stays lit. So that feels... I just wish there'd been some kind of emotion expressed on their faces. Just either happy or unsure. And Mulder's kind of cryptic. I always wondered how this would end. It's like, okay, so we gotta go leave the bureau or what? And I know, I gotta be patient and wait. I just feel completely, like, I feel like Chris Carter is stood there going, ha ha, fuck you. And that just annoys me, because I just feel like every time we get close to something, and I don't know what that something is that I want. It's not, I just, again, I feel, with this whole, are we together? It's like, I was under the impression after they had sex that they were back together. I mean, we had date night in Followers and, you know, that nice human connection and stuff like that. I don't get where this line, are we together, comes from. It's just like, wait, what's been going on for the last few months? That felt really awkward. And to do this whole thing where it's like, oh, we're going to talk about it, but we're not going to talk about it. It's just like, why? Why was that even necessary? So yeah, it's sweet and it's hopeful and it's nice. It was way better lit. Obviously they changed the contrast and stuff on the trailer version, because that version was really dark. But yeah, I have so many mixed feelings about that ending. What a dick. You just know Chris Carter probably wrote that ending, not Karen Nielsen. I don't know. I'd have to wait to see interviews or something. But I do remember, after Ghoulie, James Wong, there was some interview, I don't know if it was with Entertainment Weekly or X-Files News or what. But James Wong said, because it was brought up that he directed another episode later in the season, and he's like, yeah, it's a odd one and stuff like that. But there's a nice thing that, there's something that happens with Mulder and Scully that I think the fans will be happy with. And you're like, okay. And everybody's thinking it's going to be a kiss or something, and especially when the trailers kind of indicated that there might be a kiss. Again, I've said before, I'm not bothered. It would be nice to get a kiss. I would have liked either a kiss when they had sex, or I would have liked a kiss at the end of Followers. To be honest, I don't really care. I don't need to, again, just that handhold even in Followers meant a lot. It's all the little interactions sometimes. And it was, some of their dialogue in this was beautiful. But yeah, no, it's like, oh, the fans will be happy. And it's like, yeah, but we're left here sat going, so what is it? What happened? What gets said? And I don't like that whole cliffhanger, especially because next week we are going to get no closure. We are going to get nothing, as a proper end for the show, especially if they intend on going on without Gillian. No. I mean, I wouldn't be remotely surprised. I mean, they went on without David, so when people act surprised at the concept of Chris going on without Gillian, even though, he once said the X-Files is not the X-Files without David or Gillian, I don't know why people are so surprised, considering he has gone on without one of the main cast before. I know, obviously, there was contract issues and stuff, but that's not the point. I'm dreading next week. And to have this episode just, leave it so open, and knowing Chris won't fix anything. I have absolute zero expectations for My Struggle 4. The fact that it's called My Struggle 4 alone, doesn't give me any interest whatsoever. I am curious to see whose struggle it will be. I mean, we've had Mulder, we've had Scully, we've had Smokey. I'll be interested to see if it's either Skinner, Reyes, or William even. Especially from what we've seen in the trailer. But yeah, no, that I think I was going to do an episode. I said this last time. I was going to do a video in the hiatus to talk about my fears and concerns for, the final episodes. And I think if I can get myself around to doing it, I think I'm going to do that within this week before My Struggle 4 airs. But for this episode, it was okay. It was okay. Did I like it more than Familiar? Everybody was acting like they were remotely interested, so that automatically puts it better. I'd have it again, 6.5, 7 at a push, no more than 7. It was good, it was competent. Is it one I'm going to rewatch over and over again? Not likely. I mean, it felt there was something very sanguinarium-ish about it. And again, last week I said about this season really treading old ground, revisiting familiar themes. And obviously I Want to Be Beautiful. I could have sworn that was the tagline at one point for Sanguinarium, wasn't it? It felt, I didn't even think about that until just now, to be honest. Yeah, it was a good episode. It was watchable. I just don't know if it's rewatchable. But everybody was acting way more interested, and the banter and the dialogue was way better. Gillian's very Batman-esque voice is still bothering me, but it didn't bother me anywhere near as much as it did last week. Last week was really bad. And I don't know if that's just because they did sound so bored, and at the same time she was doing that voice, and it was just like, oh my god. But yeah, no, I'd give it a 6.5, 7. But I think I've rambled on enough. I feel quite conflicted about this one, if I'm honest. Not quite as much as last week's one. So I'd really be interested to see people's thoughts. What did you think about the case file? Was it worth the 44 minutes, or whatever it was? Did you enjoy it? Would be look forward to seeing your comments down below. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Keep everything crossed and no expectations for next week. But we'll see. For now though, guys, take care, and I'll see you somewhere down the line.